there's like a style of sports bra that has like really thin straps, and it's really made for women with like smaller breasts, but I do think it looks better than like strapping on a fucking harness. So I've figured out, since I don't have any impact sports, I just wear a smaller one, but the straps do like dig in a little bit here.
Yeah.
And it looks like a little puffy here, not in a bad way. I don't know. I just keep looking at it and thinking chicken chested. Like when I look at my dog, she's got a little meaty chest. I say she's got a chicken chest. Chicken chest.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions.
I feel like I want to start out today's episode by saying that yesterday I was in my hotel room. Oops. I was in my hotel room for a very long time. And I...
like a hostage.
Just like had a lot. I just, we're shooting this movie and it's so fun and it's so great and it's physically demanding and it's long hours, and I lost my voice last week, which is normal for someone who performs. I am the kind of person that has to take a steroid a few times a year to get it back. Like sometimes I can do an hour kind of sounding a little raspy, but for this movie, the character can't just like all of a sudden like be sounding like this.
Right.
So I got a steroid shot, and then I took a prednisone pack, and it makes you really hungry because it's a steroid. Eating all week, and it kind of disrupts your sleep. So I was like, well, I'll get a little Ambien prescription to make sure that I go to bed. And so it was like 5 milligrams, which I think is a lot. So I would cut them in half. So I'm taking it every night. And then yesterday I was like, you know what? I've got a little bit of time before a rap party. I'm going to go do a set. I'm going to get on Instagram Live. And a lot of times when I do them, I don't really have anything to say. Like we do it to be like surrounded by people. And I get on there and something just came over me and I was like, oh no, I feel really sad. I'm about to cry on a live, which you cannot do.
No.
Like it is so cringy and just, there's no reason to go on there and cry. I was going to say in front of thousands of people, but it's really like 350. That's about my retention for those kind of things. And for anybody that was watching, I basically was just like, I think I'm not going to do stand-up comedy anymore. Like I'm having like a real crisis of faith. And I was like, how do I get off of this live?
How did you get off? Did you just say, okay, bye?
And then you have to like pause to read the comments. And you're just like, I'm waiting to come up with something else. No one's really saying anything or asking me a question. I kind of hate it here. And comedy kind of hurts now. And I hate the landscape. And I feel weird. Anyways. And I was just like, I hung up and I was like, no, you're not famous enough for anyone to give a flying fuck what you decide. Like I could actually probably kill myself on an Instagram Live and it might make like a weird news source headline, like female comedian. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so one person in our Patreon was like, I hope you're doing okay, which was sweet. All this is to say that was embarrassing and I shouldn't have been live. But all this is also to say, I do think the combination of multiple nights of Ambien, which will give you dementia eventually, compounded by being physically exhausted, I think just got to me in a very weird way. Not like a Lil Nas X way, not like a mental break way, but it wasn't great. So.
Yeah, and you're away from your family. You're in a weird, your body's going through a lot.
Not that he's the only celebrity to have a mental breakdown, but he is the most recent.
Yeah.
Which sucks if you are a celebrity who's had one and nobody cared. Like to be like wandering the streets in your underwear and like TMZ doesn't even come out is sobering.
So don't go into the streets. Keep it inside.
So I called Emily. I was like, can I call you? And it was very cute because I was laying in bed and Emily's like, wait, let me get in bed too.
I went and laid in bed.
But I will tell you, you were not comforting. Like I was like, I just feel like everything I do is worthless. And you're like, yeah, you picked a bad job.
You did. You picked a really hard job.
You are a house cat because your whole contribution is you're like, I'm here.
I'm here.
But I'm not going to give you anything.
What? I figure if you're wanting to call me, you know what I give. And maybe that's what you're looking for.
I don't know what I was looking for.
Because it's not comforting, but it is like, of course you feel that way. It's really hard. I feel like it would be dumb to be like, no, stand-up comedy is so great for your mental health. It's really good and it's an easy career and it's like super.
The truth is, It always was. Like, it was always the thing that always worked, and it works, but I am just, I guess, a little jaded and a little bummed out that, I don't know, for all performers across everything, like, we have a great tour, but, like, I don't know, to suggest that live ticket sales aren't great makes it sound like there's something wrong with me, but in general, like, live tickets are just down, you know, unless you're fucking Morgan Wallen or something.
Yeah.
And so that's a bummer
Well,
to
yeah,
work
the economy's
this hard.
crashing, so
It's a tough thing because, you know, as a comic, you want to say the things you want to say, but I feel like the landscape of what's acceptable, like, audiences are so petulant. Like, you can't say this, you can't say that. And then, like, your people turn on you because you didn't say it the right way. Meanwhile, like, right-wing adjacent male comics are just saying the worst things. And people are like, oh, he's daddy, I need to fuck him. And you're like, okay, I'm over here minding my P's and Q's, trying not to hurt anyone. And because I said Jews shouldn't die, you're like, I'm not buying a ticket. So it's just fucking exhausting. And the truth is, the people listening to this are the ones who buy the tickets. And I was saying that to Noah. He's like, yeah, it's like when the teacher gives a lecture about people needing to attend class to the people who are in class.
yes.
Yeah. So
these are your people. But I will say we go through different phases of like flash in the pan type things online. Like the thing I see now, the people who are getting like attention are the weird story time people that are like, in 72 parts, I'm going to tell you about when I fought off my ex-husband, you know, and it's.
Can I tell you my biggest pet peeve?
What?
Is when I find like an Instagram that'll post like, just like a random account that'll like post a scary story or a post about something like, look at this video of this ghost.
Yeah.
The comments, rather than what I want from the comments are like, here's how you explain that. Here's what that is. It's people telling their own stories.
Yeah.
Which I think is its own type of mental illness. Like, here's a video of a ghost pushing a man out of the way before a train came.
Yeah.
And you go to the comments to like, can I get some context? People are like, when I was 10. Everything starts with when I was. And you're like, this is not the forum. I mean, I guess it is a forum.
The people that go in, like I saw a post, somehow I was served up a post from Clay Aiken, and he's in a house with his kid and like all their friends and the 17-year-old boy. So he just is like videoing himself as like boys scream, like 17-year-old boys are just like screaming at each other. And then someone in the comments is like, Clay, we knew each other when we were 10 and you were always a well-behaved boy. You know, when people get in celebrity, I was your teacher and I did, and you're like, get out of here.
I would say he's not reading those, but he probably is.
Well, I just thought it was like those kinds of comments. I always go back to Kate Beckinsale's Instagram page as the best place for commenter mental illness of people just like, Kate, you're so beautiful. When I was 7 and I saw you in Go Fish, I thought, you know, and you're like, get out of here. What are you doing here?
I mean,
there's something weirder about that being so not even earnest, but instead of just being like, you're hot, being like, oh, you're such a beautiful soul. If we got together, it's like, ew, do you think this is real?
And yet people go in, they like all the compliments. I've moved past that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't read for I don't even check. I don't know. I don't know what I do. I need to figure out a way to exist with Instagram. And get what I need from it. But anyway, so if you're listening to this is the last week of shooting our movie here in St. Louis. We spent all Friday night on a roof with a rain rig. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically like a giant crane rigged with water to make it look like it's raining wherever you are. It like casts like an umbrella of rain. And I was a little baby about it. I could not stop shivering. I had to have like 5 towels.
You wanted the rain rig. You specifically wanted it.
It needed to rain, but it also was the first day. It's been like 95 degrees here every day. And it was the first day it was like 60. And my body could not handle water.
No.
And I was like, I'm ready to go. Let's do another take. And I could not stop shivering like a rat.
Oh.
I just get cold so easy. I'm so cold.
Well, because you've been talking about how you're gonna have to shoot a roof scene when it's so hot out.
It was perfect weather for the roof scene, and then there's the rain. I won't give away too much, but this will come out in like a year and a half. Anyways, you will have forgotten. And we only have one more scene where I might need to show my body, so we're just gonna keep it tight for the rest of this week.
When do you wrap and head home?
What if I was making a porn this whole time? And I just said nothing to my family and friends.
You wouldn't have needed to fly so far.
I head home at we wrap at like 6:45 a.m. on like Sunday morning, and then we'll fly home. I'll be home for 4 days. And then I spent all of last night while the whole cast and crew was out getting fucked up. I was like, I have to rest my voice. And I was jealous I missed it.
Wait, you didn't go?
I went to the rap party and then they all went out. So I just drove some people. I did a little bit of stand up. Shout out to Golden Gems, a very cool bar here in St. Louis that was hosting a Don't Tell comedy show. So I popped in last night and I did a set and it was so fun. And then some of the crew came with me and then I dropped them at a gay bar called called Rehab.
Were you about to say the Gorilla?
The Gorilla. No, Rehab, the Garage. That's where we had our party. Shout out to the Garage in St. Louis. They were amazing hosts. Then I did my show. Shout out to Golden Gems. You guys were awesome. Very cool bar. And then I just dropped them and I was like, maybe I'll go in for a drink. And as I was walking up, I could hear Pink's, was that song Just Like a Pill?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I heard it blaring and I was like, tonight's going to be a night where you scream saying, I cannot go. I cannot lose my voice.
You can't.
Came back. Took my little baby half an Ambien and then Googled coffee shops in Estonia and Bulgaria. And if you have any recommendations for any of the European cities, hit me up. I've already saved a few. I'm coming for that Eastern European matcha.
Ooh.
So that's it. Love in St. Louis. Looking to buy a house, an 8-bedroom house here for $50.
All right.
That's all I say. Every podcast here, I'm just like, I'm loving it. Still shooting.
Still
I
shooting.
can't really tell you anything else. Yeah.
No, you're almost done though. Do you know? Have you guys talked about when you're going to announce things?
Probably when we sell it.
Oh.
Or if we get into a festival. I don't know. I mold your shoulders. Sorry about the sound, folks, and I appreciate you putting up with it. This is just what we got, and we're here for you on the pod. So brew some cocoa. It's time to gossip about people in your lives at your dental office.
How do you tell your family not to visit? Hi, podcast fam. Excuse me, family. They didn't write fam. I'm from North America, currently studying for my master's in the UK. Waited to be studying for my master's before asking a question to the pod. Both my mom and my husband's parents want to come visit. My mom wants to come for a month, which she cannot afford, and wants me to go across the country with her. I don't have the time, money, or effort to cater to her for a month. Mind you, she's single and most of her friends are still married. She doesn't have anyone to travel with. On the other side, my husband's family are having some health struggles that could prevent them from walking for even a short period of time. Eliza, as you know, Europe is just walking. It's not that I don't want to see family, but I don't want to spend my little time off school and our limited travel funds seeing shit we've already seen or not being able to really do much.
Wait, they're in the UK?
For the masters, yeah. So from North America in the
Europe.
UK.
As of Brexit, it's not Europe. I'm just make sure you know that. Because
So
they will
don't
eat you
fight
alive.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no way they can get around. How do I work around both these situations? Looking forward to watching your movie when it comes out. Best Anonymous.
You're in the UK. You're studying. Your mom wants to come visit for a month. It's so weird that you said I'm from North America. I've never heard someone say that.
They
and it
really
makes me
want to
feel like
stay
you're
anonymous.
from like Yellowknife or something like really far, like a northern territory in Canada. Yeah, so anonymous. I'm from Earth. That sounds to me like the kind of conversation you can just punt. Like that doesn't sound like they're giving off any real indication. Like we want to come visit, but it sounds like they have so many steps to take. I think you're getting anxious because they keep like threatening visiting.
Yeah. I think your husband's parent or your boyfriend's parents who can't walk.
Your boyfriend's parents visiting you.
They're not gonna visit. They can't walk. Your mom wanting to spend a month, and I totally get that thing of like, okay, we're in the UK.
A month.
If we get time off, we want to go see the things we haven't seen yet. But if mom comes, she's gonna want to see. We've already seen all the basics, and mom's gonna want to see the basics again. Yeah, you can't use your limited time off. You're there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. You're studying for a master's, and I think you can just be honest and be like, here's the truth. I have very, very limited free time. I won't be able to host you properly for a month. And then your mom will be like, oh my God, I'll busy myself. And it's like, Mom, the logistics of that are you rent a flat, you rent a car, and you're all alone you know, and it's not for, like, she might still want to come. And if it's tough because, like, some people can come and they, you know, won't be a burden. The boyfriend's parents of it all, that's just a lot for you to deal with. How long are you there for?
He can deal with that.
Yeah.
However long a master's is, I guess. I mean, I think the other concern is saying the mom doesn't have the money to travel for a month. So it's like, mom thinks she can come crash and get a cheap European vacation, but she can't.
I mean, you just need to tell them these things.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it's one or the other. It's either here are the reasons you can't do it, and then they'll be like, but I can. I have all this. And then you have to be like, but I actually can't host you. I would lead with I can't host you because that's the real thing. Let me ask you this. If your mom had $1 billion, would it be okay? Or is it you are just fearing you won't have the bandwidth to deal with this? Plus, having all of them visit, maybe they could all go together and entertain each other.
Yeah, can they be friends?
You just have to simply say, I am on a really tight schedule. I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't have the bandwidth to host you guys. If you wanted to come for a weekend, that's one thing. It's really not that far from the East Coast. So I don't know where you guys live, but a month seems bizarre.
It's too long. It's way too long. Absolutely
from
not.
Anywhere in North America, that seems bizarre.
Kill
It's
someone.
not like your family's coming from India. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Or are they?
Maybe.
Okay.
They wanted to
just
be
lead
really
with the
anonymous.
Lead with the truth, which is that it's not that you don't want them coming, you just don't have the time to do it. I don't want to see the Big Ben again, which is kind of shitty but if they were coming for a weekend, I bet you would do that. You just don't want to be responsible for their agenda when you shouldn't be, because these are all adults.
Yeah.
And obviously their behavior in the past has made it clear that, like, these will be people you have to cater to. Some people are super self-sufficient, but we still can't help, especially as women, feeling guilty. So put yourself first. You're there to get a master's and listen to this podcast.
If you were filming your movie in a state that was drivable, I might show up and bother you. But
it is drivable.
From here?
All these states are connected in the United States. Everything is drivable. There's nothing preventing you from driving
for
here.
a day trip.
Nothing preventing you.
Okay, I'll get right on the road right after this. And then you're like, actually, I can't
Do you have a
entertain
car?
you.
What kind of car do you have?
I use one. My parents have 2 cars, and I use one.
Okay. I didn't think you had a car.
No.
I can't imagine what you'd have. Maybe some sort of...
I want a car so bad because I want to put bumper stickers on it.
No.
Yes,
What would you get?
I have one that I've had for like 3 years in my closet. So that says like, honk if you love the 1999 movie, The Mummy. And my mom's car is like...
What would you drive? What would you drive if you could?
You know what? I wish I could drive, but I can't because I need it to be practical. Do you remember
limousine.
those? Do you remember those smart cars that were little before it was like
I knew
fancy?
you were going to say smart car.
A Honda Fit I would love to drive. I want something short. I want a
drive
little...
Toyota Crunchwrap Supreme.
I love my Honda Civic. I had to sell my Honda Civic for parts before I came home because it was not going to make the drive cross country. It was on its last legs.
That car would outlive us all.
I
love
loved
a Honda.
it. It was a 06 Honda Civic, and I loved it.
All right. Well, let's start a GoFundMe to get Emily a Mazda Baja Blast.
They have a new flavor of Baja Blast right now. And in the Taco Bell subreddit called Living Moss, they're like, the Midnight Baja Blast is out at many locations. They don't have enough Midnight Baja Blast. It's like...
People are disgusting.
Those are the news updates I get.
People are just self-inflicting long-term diabetes. Baja Blast.
Can you believe that I don't have diabetes?
It's like a Mexican vacation just came in your mouth. All right. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Don't ruin Baja Blasts.
I've been making these off-color jokes the whole time and on set.
Because you're around all those teens.
The men seem to love them.
Are there enough women there? Is it mostly women, mostly men, or 50-50?
I'd say it's 50-50. A lot of men on the crew, a lot of women on the crew. It's, it's an interesting mix of everybody's great, honestly.
Okay.
Everybody's fucking cool. I love it. Okay.
You said that like it's not true, but it is true. I know you love it. You love those people and you're loving this experience, but you said it like it was a lie and there's a gun to your head.
As I was saying, I was like, do I call out certain people I think are the coolest? I was like, no.
Don't name anyone.
No.
Okay, let's help. Dear Eliza and Emily, I hope you are well. I'm a newer listener and truly appreciate the intelligence, humor, and humanity you bring to your podcast.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, the humanity. I am reaching out because I'm struggling and could use your perspective. I am 32, a lesbian, and currently stationed in a deeply conservative, racist, and homophobic area in Eastern California. About 2 hours from LA.
I've never heard that term. I've never heard the term Eastern California.
Yeah, like, is that Orange County? That's like northern, or what's Eastern? Is Eastern West
California.
Covina? No, that's West.
No. Eastern is like on the border. Eastern California is
Next to
like
Vegas.
Yeah, what is that? Hold on. Eastern California, is that like Bakersfield?
Somewhere bad. Deeply conservative area in California.
Yeah, it's from somewhere over by Nevada. I mean, California's a weirdly shaped state.
Yeah.
Maybe Death Valley. All right.
All right. We're
it's
going to
over by-
triangulate your location.
Trying to figure it out. Trying to get to you.
I didn't choose to live here, and witnessing the hate directed at others makes me physically ill. Weekly pro-Trump rallies and anti-abortion protests are just the surface of what feels like a constant barrage of hostility. The town itself is considered one of the nicer areas near base, but I've been verbally harassed, physically grabbed, and even spat on simply for existing. I've reached a point where I rarely leave my house except for work and volunteering. Unfortunately, the atmosphere at work isn't much better. I'm surrounded by vocal, aggressively political coworkers whose views are not just different from mine, they are dehumanizing. As an educated woman who is pursuing a master's in law studies, not trying to sound like a dick or a pompous ass. No, that's
why
we need your bona fides.
Why would you even check yourself like that?
I feel like I'm surrounded by people who seem willfully ignorant, uneducated, and proudly resistant to anything that goes against their mindset. I understand that communities like this exist because people want to feel comfortable among like-minded individuals. However, I don't have the option to leave and have never felt more out of place. I've exhausted many options to build relationships, but after 2 years, I'm still alone and my cat is my only friend here. And then included a photo. It's a black and white, gorgeous cat. My therapist even told me, "You've done all you can. You just have to wait until your contract is up." It was honest, but devastating. My partner and I have been together for 3 years, and though she lives 2 states away, we make the distance work, seeing each other every 5 to 8 weeks. She's the most supportive, loving, and genuine person I've met, and I'm endlessly grateful to have her in my life. At the same time, I try to be mindful not to lean too heavily on her and never want her to feel like she's my only lifeline. I have never felt this isolated, unsafe, and emotionally drained. As two people whose values and voices I deeply respect, I am asking, how do I make it through another year of this without losing my mind? Sincerely, Sapphic scholar in a town that worships Joe Rogan. P.S. Emily, I love how relatable you are. And Eliza, your comedy specials helped me through some incredibly tough times, including multiple deployments. My partner and I are hoping to make it to one of your shows later this year. Thank you both for all that you do. So we got to get through a year in a place that feels completely like, if even the therapist is saying, yeah, you've done it all and this is where you're at.
You know, that's awful. And a year I'm like, well, you just got to find your people. And if you're saying you've tried and you can't, there has to be some outlet, whether it's because even in these pockets of red, there's always a drop of blue somewhere. There have to be other people like you. They're just does, whatever. And it's probably exhausting to even talk to these people because it just feels there's so much anxiety and there's so much hate. You have to mentally tough this out, and you're going to have to find moments of joy, whether that is making your home like a sanctuary and a safe space, finding a hobby. You're telling me you get spat on. Are you like so outwardly gay looking that people can tell? Is this prohibiting you from moving through it? Or is this because you have the conversations with people? You cannot let this prevent you from experiencing the joy that you're entitled to. And I'm not saying that you can just go out and everything will be fine, but you have to make it your job to find things that make you feel good. I don't know if it's a coffee shop, a conversation. That's so great that you volunteer. Are there people there you can hang out with? You can go to people's houses. I think you're feeling like I've done everything that I can and this just sucks, but there's always something. In every town, there's something. And you may have to drive for it, and you may have to just look forward to your weekends off. You may have to make planning for your future be the fantasy that like you're living in now. Maybe it's conversations with your girlfriend or your partner, or making a vision board or a Pinterest board or reading, but you need to make it almost your full-time job to find ways to offset this. And that's going to take work, and that sucks.
Yeah, because I'm guessing in this kind of situation, it's not like you can start like a LGBTQ plus group, because none of you want a target on your backs, right? So everybody's kind of in the dead of night trying to find each other.
But they're there. Like those people, right? You, as much, you know what, I would take, if you have the time for it and the mental bandwidth, I would take your pain, and you have to know that you're not the only person who feels the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
And I would make it your job to find other people. And maybe it's just you go for coffee. Maybe you guys meet up and cook at each other's houses. Like, find, water seeks its own level. Make it your job to find those people, because they need you just as much as you need them.
Yeah. But I mean,
even
it's
as just
year.
an exercise. Yeah, it's fucking a year. That's rough.
That's a rough
You're in
time.
the military. You guys are tough. You can find it. You can find there's something there. And I don't want to be one of those people like, it's a lesson you need to learn. But like, I think that there could be a real beauty in finding others that are like you in this pressure cooker of a situation.
Right.
I'm sorry. That sucks.
That does suck.
Nobody wants to feel bad about the way that they are.
No, I'm glad that you're leaving in a year.
Is there a version where you play with it and you talk to people and you're just like, why do you feel that way? Like, are there people you can have conversations with, or are you just so fucking tired? You're like, I don't want to talk to you.
Sounds exhausting. Yeah. Okay, we're starting to get some really good spam messages. Like, my dearest, your voice is echoing in my mind, but they sent it to like 50 people. And so it's like, well, this wasn't just for Ask Iliza.
It'll do that.
But I always have to check the spam because sometimes your emails go in there. So let's do an animal song. I'm going to send you one.
Animal song, your mouth is so small. Animal song, I give it my all. Squeeze your body, I give you a kiss. Animal songs, this time I won't miss.
So this is a song that we sing for our cat, Bubby, and we change the lyrics depending on what he's up to. So this is just one of the versions, but if you know it, sing along. When you're scratching my thigh with that look in your eye, that's a Bubby. 'Cause we're eating some fish and it's your favorite dish, that's a Bubby.
That's a nice voice.
But you know I can't give you this 'cause you'll throw it up and you'll make a mess, that's a Bubby.
Oh, Bubby.
But you're slashing my skin, so okay, I'll give in. That's a Bubby.
Yay! She has a beautiful voice. It was perfect.
That was so sweet. Because I immediately know who Bubby is, what he likes to get into.
Little mean little cat.
I love that so much. I know.
Great.
But this is the email. Hi team, presenting with little explanation, a ballad for my cat Bubby. Thanks for listening, Bubby's mom.
I love the love in her voice. It had a vibrato. This cat's wrecking her skin, and she's like, that's my baby.
And it's clearly like a song that's been sung many times. This segment makes me so happy. I'm tearing
It's joyful.
up. It's
Yeah.
so joyful.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I'm so happy for Bubby. Okay. Hi, Iliza and crew. Love y'all.
Are you okay? Do you need a minute?
I'm so happy for Bubby.
Oh, my God.
Watch all of your specials, gone to multiple shows, have been listening to the pod for years, have met you in person. Thank you for being you. I was listening to Female Rage at its Finest, which is one of the episodes, but also could just be a description of the show. That is just an episode name. Realized I've also been seeking a big sister validation, like you mentioned, when it came to wedding invites on the episode for a situation that still upsets me to this day. Which, Iliza, at the time, it's like, sometimes we get questions where it's just like, we are validating that, yes, you are right to be mad at this person. There's nothing to be done, but yes, they're being a chump.
I also have a follow-up to a question. The girl who was scamming Broadway. My mom has a comment.
Okay, all right, let's do
We'll come
this.
back.
Then you can have
Yeah. Just don't forget.
I, 35 female, had what I considered to be a chosen family member with a friend of 7 years, 37 female. But it all fell apart in what feels like the most befuddling way. Background: I met C when I was in my mid-20s through yoga. We immediately hit it off. A little ways into our friendship, she ghosted me for 9 months. I was hurt, but chalked it up to incongruent perceptions of the relationship and went about my way. Post-ghosting, we randomly ran into each other coming/going from the yoga studio, hashed out over a brunch she organized, primarily about her former beau troubles, and went on to what I consider to be bonus sisters for years. Fast forward, she was a bridesmaid in my wedding. I was the only non-relative invited to her wedding, doubling as her day of coordinator to save her money and do her a solid as she was planning a West Coast wedding from the East Coast, and I had recently moved west. She even named me and my husband as part of our family when addressing the sub-20 people at her wedding ceremony, which we were surprised and honored by, as we had zero expectation of such a thing happening. My husband and I took a week of time off work, which is incredibly precious for him as he works in the medical field, to help out with her wedding, which also required us to travel out of state, pay for a hotel. We barely got any quality time with C and her husband, R. Beyond coffee, the morning, everyone was departing. There were a lot of complicated intra-couple and family dynamics at play that I believe were the bigger contributor to this, but disappointing nonetheless, as we definitely felt way more like the help. While we were planning for C's wedding, my husband and I were putting together a trip back to the East Coast to attend a relative's wedding. This wedding was in the same area as where C lived, as well as where I spent the first 30 years of my life. There was a lot to balance during the trip. The wedding, my husband's family coming into town for the wedding, all of my family and friends local to the area. But we told C and R first because we wanted to prioritize as much time with them as possible. When we told her about the trip, she punted on it as something to tackle later. Which, Iliza, you just suggested.
Okay, but can I
Yes.
pause for a second? Mm-hmm. They're friends for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. But also basically sisters.
Basically sisters. Mm-hmm. I don't know when they had their wedding. When was that?
This would have been, my husband and I took a time off work, fast forward. We don't know exactly when.
All right, so let's say it was in the last year. You do all this stuff for her wedding. Mm-hmm. You feel treated like the help, which really doesn't matter because you said you would do it.
Yeah.
You didn't expect anything, but you were honored and they don't have time. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Less amount of people. And then while you're there, you're like, hey, from the hometown where we all live, or where I'm from, but you currently live, I'm planning on going to a wedding there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back there.
I'm going to be back there. I have X number of days. And she's told these people first, like, I'm going to get in time with you first before I figure out my other plans.
I'm going to be home for this wedding.
And the best friend punts it when she tries to make plans.
Okay.
A few weeks after the wedding, so C and R's wedding, our trip to the East Coast was imminent. It became clear that beyond coming directly to her apartment and our neighborhood, she wasn't willing to make any concrete plans. Given the time we had just carved out to dedicate to nothing but her, it felt very self-centered that she couldn't figure out.
Why'd you carve it out? She didn't give you any indication.
Well, I think the time they carved out, they spent a week. The medical guy, they took a week off work. They did all this stuff for her wedding. Now, they didn't really get to see their friend. And now they're going out to where their friend is, and their friend is still ditching them.
No, I understand that, but you're going out to see her. She's giving you no indication.
No, she's going out for the wedding, but she's saying she carved out all that time at C's wedding.
Oh, okay.
She just spent all this time
given all the time we just spent on
C.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started filling in our calendar with all the other folks we were trying to accommodate. When we got to the East Coast, we met up with C&R for one brunch at a restaurant right outside of her apartment. She gifted us some things for helping out with the wedding, and we had big news to share. We were pregnant for the first time. She swore up and down that she wanted to join in some of the non-wedding related activities we had planned, and we were happy to have her and R. As we said our goodbyes at brunch, I expressed some of the fears I had around being pregnant. She promised she'd be there for me every step of the way. That was the last time we saw C&R in person. Once we got home from the trip, her phone suddenly became broken. We reached out to R to make sure she was okay, but it was all chalked up to needing a new phone. Both C and R then went close to radio silent after having spent the first half of the year talking almost daily, in addition to multiple hour-long phone calls with all four of us on weekends. We also miss Carrie, which I've never even been able to share with C, nor did she ever follow up on. For her birthday.
How could she follow up on it if you never shared it?
Well, I guess she never followed up because she knew she was pregnant. She was never like,
Your friend's jealous that you're pregnant. That's it. Your friend's married. She wants to have a kid, and she can't handle that you're.
I don't think that's it.
Okay, well, go on.
For her birthday a couple of months later, I decided to send her a big self-care package from one of her favorite stores in hopes of celebrating her, reconnecting, and supporting what seems like a stressful season in her life.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who had the miscarriage?
Our question asker, but for her friend's birthday, she's trying to win her over yet again and sends her a big care package. And just wait, Iliza, because I end up getting an automatic email from the store that almost everything I sent to her got returned.
Oh.
Well, worried I had done something wrong, I reached out to let her know I'm happy for her to use the store credit however she wants, but want to make sure something deeper isn't going on since she seems distant. I'm told things haven't been great with her and R. She's stressed about her master's program, vague allusions to something about our East Coast trip upsetting her, but no specifics are volunteered when requested, and that her phone...
Because she's upset that you're pregnant and she's not.
No, I think it's more than that, but okay.
Hold on. Cold.
So you put on a t-shirt? Well, I guess that's better.
I look like a background, like Little League player.
Yeah, now you got a
Just like all blue.
uniform on.
Sorry, I'm so cold. Okay, go ahead.
No specifics are volunteered when requested. Her phone not working is a welcome reprieve from everyone. I decided not to press, let her know I'm here if she needs anything, and to please message me when her phone is working again.
What happened to that store credit? Did you get your money back?
I'm sure that our question asker did not. Our question asker has let it languish.
She returned everything?
Almost everything, which is
And
even
didn't
weirder.
say anything?
Right, because our question asker was like, hey, I see you return everything. Like, you're welcome to use the credit, but are we good? And she's just like, ugh,
I'm
stressed.
busy.
My phone's broken.
Okay.
Communication stops, but weirdly, gifts don't. 2 months pass and my husband and I are sent an anniversary gift from C&R, but only R responds to our thank you on the group thread. A couple months later, we're sent a Christmas gift from C&R. This time, no response from either when we reach out with a thank you. Months later, I am sent a birthday cake from C&R with no response when I reach out with a thank you. Any one-on-one texts are never responded to. We end up getting pregnant again, and I decide to send out a birth announcement to C plus R after our first child is born, assuming surely this is big enough news to at least break the silence for whatever reasons it might be occurring. Months later, we get the birth announcement back as a return to sender because they have moved. At this point, we haven't actually spoken in well over a year. I reach out to her on Instagram since I can't get a response on any other channel out of legitimate concern. Divorce, health crisis, familial issues. I let her know I sent her a birth announcement that got sent back, that I haven't been able to reach her, that she can tell me to bug off if I'm just not taking the hint, and that I just want her to know I hope she's okay. She responds back almost immediately, telling me I'm not missing a hint. She's been a terrible friend, gives me her new address, says we should do a call so we can catch up and she can meet the baby. I reiterate that I'm sorry to hear she's been having a rough go, wish nothing but the best for her, and that if she wants to be part of my life, I can't go through round 3 of her cutting me out cold turkey.
Okay.
She responds that she's going to need some time to think about what I've shared and hopefully have time to respond by the end of the weekend. Now, Iliza, this is the most shocking sentence in the thing, okay? That weekend was almost 3 years ago.
Well, she thought about it and she didn't want to be your friend.
Did I do something wrong? Was it somehow unfair for me to assert a boundary around her ghosting? No. Do I somehow have horse blinders on to something glaringly obvious to a third-party big sister like yourself? Yes. I don't have any hope that this is salvageable, and I know you're only working with one side story, but I'm curious if you're just as confused as I am, or am I somehow the one in the wrong? If I'm being honest, this whole thing has made me feel like I was kept and used for a specific purpose, her wedding. I've planned and executed multiple weddings as a fun side hustle. And essentially considered disposable.
Because she would have ditched you sooner.
Yeah. She'd made passing comments about the utility of access to certain things in other friendships she had when we were close that I found odd, but didn't make much of at the time. Additionally, when we were at her wedding, her closest sister and mom went out of their way to comment on how nice it was for me to come help out, and they were shocked I'd be willing to do that for her. It never felt transactional given the depth of what we mutually shared. Any insight, advice, or guidance on what went wrong here would be helpful. Thanks for taking time to read and weigh in.
Here's what it is.
I have a take. Yeah.
All right, you want to do?
No, you go. You go.
You don't mean to her what she means to you. You're a normal person. You might be, it's not so much a little bit much, but you also may not, you just give. And that's a great thing. The problem is you give without any real perception of like, is this person giving back? And when they don't, you're like, what's going on? I'll just give more, which doesn't make her want to give anymore. Her resurfacing, she sounds like she has a chemical imbalance, quite frankly. And she's dealing with her own demons, like personality disorder issues that really have nothing to do with you. But because she gives you so little, when she does give you something, you're like, oh, we're back. Her resurfacing to give you a gift here and there is probably her just either doing what she thinks she should do to maintain a normal friendship or doing what she thinks is a normal thing to do and not realizing that like the social component of this is the most important thing. You don't care about the gifts. You want to talk to her. She's available when she's available. And I do think you having a baby was probably hard for her, which is unfortunate because that's a weird dip. And then she's like, you know what? I guess I'm okay with it. The fact that you quote unquote like drew that boundary when she's not someone that respects those was too much for her. She's shitty. She's shitty. You don't need her. And you're going through the fact that you're questioning, did I do anything wrong? You gave her multiple gifts. It is weird behavior. And she is struggling with some sort of mental illness. Maybe her relationship isn't great. But the fact that on multiple occasions you were like, hey, are we cool? And she couldn't even talk to you means that she is dealing with some kind of weird demon. You don't need this shit.
Yeah. My similar immediate thought was, you think of her as a sister. You think of her as family.
Yeah, a sister who doesn't like you.
Right.
Like a normal sister.
Yeah. I think the amount that you put into that relationship was so much more than she's putting in. I wonder if she was just kind of like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. Like,
but by the way, like she may not dislike you. Like we all have people in our lives who show up a little bit more or like we all show up in the ways that we can. Some people are great at giving gifts. And like that's the thing that they do just to let you know, hey, I'm thinking about you, but I don't really have the bandwidth in general. And I get it. Like someone comes to visit me, I'm like, I'm not going to drive to go see you. Now it's shitty given what you've done for her, but you can't have given that wedding gift expecting anything when if you look back at your friendship your whole life, she's probably always kind of been a little weird in this way, but she was consistently reaching out. So you kind of like let it go. I definitely know people that reach out to me often and I'm just like, okay, but that doesn't mean I don't care about them. That doesn't mean I wouldn't send them a holiday text or something like that.
Yeah.
The only part that you need to focus on is the fact that the returning of the gift is so weird. And that's what makes me think she has like a social disorder. The only part you need to focus on is the fact that you're like, hey, are we good? And she didn't tell you she moved. She has no desire to fill you in on her life. And when she thinks about you, she reaches out to you. But it doesn't sound like that's the kind of friendship that works for you. She's not a bad person. She's just kind of shitty socially. And you don't mean enough to her.
Her phone was just broken. She either is full of it or she's such a weirdo that she was like, good, my phone's broken. No one can reach me. And it's like, yeah, you can't overcome that. So you're not getting at her.
She's an alcoholic and she's doing something weird. She's cheating on her husband. I always just think when we're younger, everybody has these quirks. Like, oh, that's just Sandra. She's just weird with her phone. Oh, that's just Mike. He doesn't do whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a thing, especially with men where it's like, I just don't text.
Yeah.
But we have all these quirky things about like, I don't look at this. I don't really answer. I don't respond. It's like, no, you don't really do that for people who don't matter.
Yeah.
Like when I meet like other celebrities that are just like fucking blazed out of their mind or they're late for their call time. I'm like, but you were on task enough to get the audition. Like at some point you showed up to a meeting that got you here.
Yeah.
So this is a choice.
Yeah.
Barring any mental illness, which I do think your friend has. So let it go. You drew a boundary. She couldn't fucking handle it. She doesn't deserve you. We're done.
Yeah.
And I think she's jealous you had a baby. That's just me. I don't know
Stop
why everyone says
putting
no.
time into her.
Gifts are not going to do it. You gave her, and I don't think she used you for the wedding. I think she knew you'd be great at it, but that's a weird breadcrumb trail.
I don't
years
think
later.
you would invite someone to your less than 20 person wedding and not care for them. I think that she just can't be there for you in the way you need her to be.
I had a friend like this. Friends her whole life. There was always a gift. There was always a promise of a gift. Let me put it that way. That was like our big joke in high school. It'd be like, I have a gift for you. And I'm like, where is it? Oh, it's in my car. Like, there's always a reason we couldn't have the gift.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then erratic responses, no responses. And like growing up, there was no conversation about mental health. And we didn't realize that like she was dealing with something fucked up. I still don't know what it was. And even every once in a while, if we text, all of a sudden she'll just stop texting. Like some people are just shitty socially.
Yeah.
But in person, they're great. But like you can't really make a plan with them. The answer is it probably isn't you. And you'll find years later, she'll reach out and she'll be like, I'm sorry. I was going through something.
When her and her husband divorce. Yeah.
For real. Or they're together and she's just shitty and he enables it. Doesn't sound like they're having a marriage issue because he is responding. Like if they were having trouble, he probably
She
be like,
had
I don't want to
said
talk
at
to you.
one point when they talked, like things were tough between her and R. But yeah, I mean,
That's the kind of thing that would bring you even closer. You'd be like, hey, can I talk to you? Like she's in her own misery. She doesn't know how to express it. We're moving on. We're not friends with her. Do not send her another gift.
do not text her again. Do not
Ever
message her
focus
again.
on your family.
Yeah.
We're too old and we're too far into the annals of like, not annals, but we're too far down the road of social media to be like a bounce back. Are you kidding? Like, are you a Nigerian prince scam? What do you mean a
Right.
bounce
What's
back?
happening?
I mean, your phone's not working. Are you a fucking drug dealer?
Right. What job do you have? Your phone's not working.
Please.
Hello, Pod Squad. I'm 39, Canadian, married, 2 kids. My mom is 60, French Catholic, and still treats me like I'm 16. I rent to own one of her rental properties. It benefits us both. Better school district for my kids, and she had tenants bail. Never missed a payment, handle all the upkeep. Just replaced a 15-year-old AC unit myself. Can you see this? Wait,
Meowing.
she just brought a slipper in.
Oh,
Thank
that was
you.
Nice.
That's so polite. Sorry. That was so, I just heard screaming.
Tiny meow.
She lost it when I got a $1,200 tattoo. Not about the ink. My dad has 5, but the cost. Last year, my husband gave me a necklace for the
that
same
cat.
amount. I got
Can put a cork in it.
and got 0 lecture, but I could feel the judgment.
Wait, what was it? I missed it because your cat was meowing.
Last year, my husband gave me a necklace for the same amount and got 0 lecture, but I could feel the judgment. She's fine with my biweekly nails, but anything over $100 triggers a
You
Catholic
get your
guilt
nails done
sermon.
twice a week?
I assume every other week.
Okay.
Triggers a Catholic guilt sermon. If I try to set boundaries, she brings up gifts for my kids I didn't ask for, then refuses repayment. How do I get her to see me as an adult without blowing up our relationship?
I don't think you're gonna. And I would just move on.
I will
Because also,
say,
you take the other side of it. Be that kid. Just be that kid. And just like, she's like, $1,200 tattoo, it is too much. And you can just be like, I did what I did. Can I have a snack? Like, what's she gonna do? Not be your mom? Like, she also loves you so much. And so I would just like lean into it. And also, if you wanna cite your sources, just be like, I pay my rent on time. I do all this. I'm a great tenant. I pay my taxes. You can't tell me anything. And just walk out. What's she gonna do? Evict you?
right. I mean, it's a weird control. Like, my mom is the same way about, like, when she stays at my house with the cats, any packages that come, she's like, oh, you just are ordering things? I thought you're just ordering things online and they're just coming. And I'm like, yeah. Like,
She's not going to agree with the things that you do. You're not going to, like, it's
fine.
You're going to waste so much energy trying to prove something to her. You can also
ignore
blow
it.
up at her
Yeah.
because it's your mom.
Yeah.
You can also say to her, be like, have I done anything that shows that I'm irresponsible?
Right.
And also, she should be proud that you got the $1,200 tattoo because we don't want a cheap tattoo.
That's the thing.
Show her some like only God can juge me tattoo misspells.
I saw one on somebody posted on Reddit, a tattoo, like, why does it look so bad? And someone's like, well, how much did you pay? And they're like, well, the guy quoted 400, but said he'd do it for 100 because it was my birthday. And it's like, if someone's willing to devalue their work, like, somebody told me like I paid too much for mine. And I was like, I paid the perfect amount because I love it and it's professional and I didn't get a leprosy disease. So
She's not, Like, if you're not a person who gets tattoos, she's never going to be like, oh, c'est magnifique. Your mom is the French chef from Little Mermaid.
Okay, and now we have the kind of question that is the hardest to answer, the very hardest to answer. Hi, Iliza. I don't know how to tell a dear 50-ish male friend that he reeks.
Oh.
Issue number 1,
Okay.
his breath. Recently sat next to him at a performance, not talking, and I almost couldn't take it, even after offering him gum. This is beyond garden variety bad breath. Once he shared that when he works from home, he sometimes goes without brushing his teeth, so there's a clue. But we are hanging out in public. I assume he brushes first, but maybe it's just not enough. Number 2, he sweats wine, or at least he smells like it. Part of it is he drinks too much, for sure. I love him so much, and he recently has been saying he's open to dating again after his partner of 20 years left him. I want to know how offensive it
Ran
is so
from
he can
him.
attract a good guy. I tried to assign this to my husband, but he says no way. I thought about offering him gum 100 times an hour until he gets the hint. Help. He can be very sensitive and mopey, and I'm a straight shooter, so I need someone kinder to tell me what to do.
Okay. As someone who has told people they are stinky and seen the light fade from their eyes.
You love to tell people about smells that you smell.
Look, if you're stinky, you can tell when it's a choice versus something that they're unaware of, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
That someone would be that unaware.
Nose blindness.
You sit your friend down. And you say, do you know I love you? And he'll be like, I know it. And you'd be like, I want to tell you something because I'm on your side and I want you to meet someone incredible. Like, get them to start talking about how they want that. You'd be like, can I tell you something that I'm only saying from love with the objective of helping you? And he'll be like, yeah. And you'd be like, you're stinky.
I'm mad.
Just say it.
With the partner of
You're
20
stinky
years.
in the mouth and body.
The mouth and body. Why couldn't the partner deal with this on his way out? You know, like
The
he was going to
partner
break
did.
up.
The partner did. That's why he got as far away from him as he could.
I need the partner to have told him, though, so that our question answer doesn't have to tell him.
You got to tell him and be like, I think it is, you've gone through a breakup, but it's time to get back on track. I am here and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. If his feelings are hurt by that, then I think you're dealing with a bigger issue. Like, people that can't take that kind of construct. Like, I'm constantly brushing my teeth and chewing gum on set because I don't want other actors to have a stinky experience.
Anytime someone offers me gum, which is not that often, I'm like, is there a reason for this?
And most people you offer, they're like, why do I have bad breath?
Yeah, it's like,
You got to just tell them as a friend, because the truth is, if they get upset, you didn't say it to hurt them.
right. You
And-
love
and
this
also if they-
person.
If they do get offended, you can say, do you really think I said that to hurt your feelings? Like, I'm not trying to embarrass you. And this is what I say all the time. I go, I'd rather this happen in front of me than a potential date. So I'm telling you, you're stinky man.
Yeah.
You are stinky of mouth and body.
I mean, the teeth brushing is an easy one to start with. So people in the comments, because this was on Patreon and it was in one of the public threads, so other people can comment and engage with your question. And people
That's repulsive.
pointed out that he might need a doctor. Like, 2 different things going here. Maybe it's medically stink mouth. Number 2, the drinking and the not brushing, that's depression. Like, people stop taking care of themselves. So
I think
there's
there's
something
that.
at play here.
There's this one
Unless he's always
influencer.
stunk. Yeah.
She always says, don't let your mental affect your dental. And like, he might just be really sad. You might have to tackle the mouth's we gotta
Mouth's
go
gotta
mouth
go.
first.
Yeah. Mouth.
Let's go mouth first.
Mouth first, because, the teeth are attached to the heart, or the gums are attached to the heart. So he needs to take
Oh.
care of that mouth.
Take care of that halitosis.
Isn't that weird? Since my dad had the heart surgery, he can't go to the dentist without getting special antibiotics. Like, even for a cleaning,
Wow.
you have to take them for life.
So that's, yeah. They always say the way to a man's heart is through his tooth,
One tooth.
through that front tooth.
Hi, big sisters. This is something I'm curious about too, Iliza. I have a question for Iliza specifically. I've heard you say in older episodes that you tend to blow up really big quickly about something and then move on, whereas Smokey Husky is more chill in response, if I understood correctly. I also tend to have big emotional reactions, but I'm often able to calm down quickly after taking it out. Oh, after talking it out. Not after taking it out on
an
someone.
unsuspecting bystander. Preferably
Blame it
a
on
woman.
the blame it on the ADHD's dysregulation or my mom for not teaching me how to regulate my emotions. I get lovely little panic attacks or feel rage like I could Hulk out. Unfortunately, my face also betrays my every emotion. So I've gotten some negative feedback on how this affects me in the workplace, which fucking sucks. So yeah, I am in therapy and trying that all out. But Iliza, as someone who is super passionate about your work and a self-described sort of reactive person, how do you keep your cool or learn to let shit go at work and your relationship? Thanks for being so honest with us.
It's something that and by the way, I'm not reactive. Like, I don't explode at people, but I get frustrated. What?
No, that's what I'm saying is I think I
I
want to
explode at you.
as you explode is that it's from an outsider. It's not the explode, but that you will be frustrated by something very immediately, very blunt about it, not meanly, but just like, this is a problem. And then I'm like, oh no, I fucked up. It's over for me. And you've forgotten about it the next day because it's like, once it's done, you're done with it. And that's not how most people operate.
Well, I also am often wrong. So that's hard to walk around with that. But the more I work with other people and the more, because stand-up comedy, you're so alone so often, and your whole point of view, is what makes you money, and it's the way things are. And because it's art, it's subjective. So my point of view can be correct, or my assertions about things. But the more I'm around people who are calmer or more understanding or just wired differently, the more I realize if I can give myself the gift of taking a deep breath or stepping away, just so I can, in the way that most people do, it usually like pays for itself tenfold.
Yeah.
The amount of times recently where I've been like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't say anything, because it turned out that they weren't lying, And so it's tough though, because somebody will be like, what's wrong? I'll be like, nothing, I'm just here. And then the more they ask, you're like, what? I'm just here, just doing it. So there's nothing ever wrong with saying nothing and then later being like, oh no, I was just thinking. Like, you don't owe anyone an explanation about what's going on in your head all the time.
Yeah. I'm wondering also, like, I think that there's also this thing of like, I don't know how much I buy that you absolutely cannot control your face at work, because here's what I do at work. And to be fair, I'm remote, but I'll zoom in and somebody will be saying the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And I'm pissed because I know they're wrong. I go off camera and I take a second so that I'm not sitting there like, oh, like you just have to, you have to control your face.
When I was a kid, I had a teacher who was an idiot, and I told my mom that my teacher would roll her eyes at me, which is so rude.
Yeah.
And my mom went over to the teacher. She goes, is there something wrong with your face? My mom said, is there something wrong with your face that you feel you have to roll your eyes when my daughter speaks? And the teacher said, well, I can't control what my eyes do, which just gives you an idea of the level of exceptionalism we were dealing with in these public schools at the time. But I think turning your camera off, stepping away, pretending to check your phone, just giving yourself a beat to process it.
Yeah.
Couple of deep breaths, just removing yourself from something. Also in Hollywood, you'll be on a call, you'll get the dumbest note. And I've learned this from senior writers. And the answer is always, let me take a look at that. Let me take a look at that. Always saying thank you, which it doesn't matter because people don't really want to hear your opinion. Okay, great. We're going to look at that. We're going to circle, but just like deflect. Because people are too emotionally stupid to handle something in the moment. So it's just always, let me look at that. Okay, great. Thanks so much. We'll circle. Like whatever rote thing you can do to get through it so that you can evaluate later, and just know that like you will feel so much better in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Once you've taken a deep breath.
Yeah, I've had to adjust at work because I have a new boss where like my old boss, I would talk through things, like figure out problems by talking through it. And my new boss just wants to hear kind of the solution, So when I start talking about the first steps, it's like, okay, you adapt to the different people you're with. It's like pretend you're in Game of Thrones. Like everybody you're working with, you have to treat like you can manipulate them to an extent.
Most people cannot handle in the moment harsh feedback.
Yeah.
Or your reaction's wrong. And I've had to learn that, like, even on this movie, like being frustrated, like people are watching you. So just say nothing.
Yeah.
And if they fault you for being quiet, it's like, I'm allowed to take a second here. You don't have to be excited all the time.
Yeah.
but you got to be smarter than everyone else so that you are allowed to process your emotions. And then if you take a minute, you're usually able to say it in a better way versus like, oh, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Here we
Top
go.
of the cob and bottom.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
My bottom of the cob is when you're staying in a hotel and you need like the smallest things. And it requires, like, I can't ask for room service, and you got to tip someone $8. And you go downstairs, you're like, can I have, and they're always like, this hotel's fine, but like, they're always like a little weird about it. You're like, just so you know, we bought thousands and thousands of dollars worth of rooms. Give me a fucking fork. Like, it should just be easier. There should be silverware in my room. Just like needing, or how like they're like weird about water in hotels. Like, we'll give you these 2 bottles.
Right.
But no more. And then my other bottom of the cob is like a shitty sundry shop at a hotel. Like this hotel has, you can buy pre-popped popcorn, special case cereal bars, and like those shitty grandma's cookies. And I'm like, and like Bud Light in a can, like a can bottle. I'm like, what is this selection? Like, make it a cute shop with branded shit so I buy like gourmet snacks, not like weird off, and don't charge me for cookies that cost 98 cents. Like, just putting weird things on a pedestal. Why aren't there forks in here? Just how being in a hotel, little things just become difficult. That's all.
Yeah.
Here. That's my bottom.
My bottom is, previously it was a top. I bought a sleepless grumpy.
Yeah.
They're not on the market. I bought 2 more. Why did I buy 2 more, Iliza? That's my bottom. What am I going to do with 3 grumpy? What am I doing?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the Labubu thing. Apparently it's a girl. I don't know.
Ew, that thing's a girl?
I think so. I think in a world where no one's allowed to have a gender, I think that ugly thing is a girl.
That's a girl. That's offensive. That's my bottom. Okay, fan bottom. Got off volunteering on Saturday, went to the gas station, and my gas tank was filled with bark dust. PSA, get a lock and gas cap. And I replied, I was like, what do you mean bark dust?
Bark dust.
He said, yeah, the place I was parked uses bark dust in the flower beds. Someone decided it belonged to my gas tank. Psycho.
That's awful.
Psycho.
You could explode your whole car. Yeah.
Yeah. You could have all died.
My top of the cob is I had a very, very, very close friend for many, many years. And a little over 2 years ago, we just stopped speaking. And it was very sad. And it wasn't a fight or anything. It just kind of like a text that never got answered. And then it was on the back of a disagreement. Like, it just kind of, it was the only time, it was one of the only times in my life where like a friendship ended and it felt like I was so sad because I missed them, but it didn't feel like I could reach out to them. It wasn't angry. And I miss that friend. And I think about that friend. It's a guy. And the way I speak about this person, it sounds like a relationship that ended. But it's not romantic, but like I miss them.
Yeah.
And we were doing a scene last week, not this week, not the last week, but the last week. And it was a super emotional day. And it was a lot of having to cry. And it was a lot of like emotions. And I was on my phone and an email came in from an email I didn't recognize. And I was like, I'm definitely going to open this. I opened it and it was like, hey, it was very nice. Like, hope you, Ethan, Sierra, and Noah are doing really well. I found these on my computer. I thought you might want them. And it was a folder of basically our whole life together. Not in a passive, it was like me, it was someone that I worked with.
Yeah.
It was like the first time I guest hosted late night, my first talk show, my first, like all these like small things, like whatever, but years of behind the scenes pictures, some that I had seen, some that I hadn't, of like them photographing me. And I just broke down crying.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm on a set. I should like go away. And I just called this person. I just called them and I was hysterical. And I was like, I miss you so much. I don't know why we don't talk anymore. He was like, oh my God, I didn't mean to make you cry. He was kind of like laughing at me. And I was like, I love you. And I dream about you and I miss you. And you never even met my son. Like, we haven't talked. Like, you were at my wedding. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like sometimes friendships just come to an end, but need like a little break. And then it's okay. And no one's mad. I don't even think we ever need to go into, we kind of stopped working together, but it was this really beautiful moment. Like, if you can, as if there's ever been a time where someone of the opposite sex is able to express like how genuinely deeply they miss someone and it's not a sexual thing, it was just like you were like a brother to me. And it was just like a really beautiful moment. So that was it.
Are you going to hang out?
Yeah. And he texted my husband and like, now that's cool. Cause you know, it was just like a very like, sometimes, you know, on this podcast, we're like, all right, you're done, move on.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just need a break and no one's bad or good. And it just, you need a reset.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a few years but it was a really beautiful moment. That's all. And I called people and I was like, guess who just emailed me? And because
Okay,
we'd all like,
Now we're
What?
in a fight. You didn't tell me any of this.
I've just been really stressed. I haven't been stressed at all. I've
Your
just been
phone's
working all-
broken.
I can't believe I didn't tell you this.
I know.
Well, you know who it is. You can take a guess.
Yeah, I figured it out as you were talking, but
Yeah.
that's great. That's so nice.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, it's weird to break up with someone and like you don't have an angry feeling toward them. You're just like a little sad.
Yeah.
And people are like, are you okay? And I was just like, no, it's okay.
I'm happy.
It was just-
crying.
It was. I was glad that he sent it, the file. And
That's really nice.
yeah, that'll be good. So yeah, nice conversation. That was my top of the cup.
Mine, no one's as
And
good.
then we get to do all of our old jokes, which have been fun to text, which are so stupid.
You've just been waiting.
Been holding on.
Finally.
Been holding on to these drafts. What's yours?
After that, mine is this upcoming weekend. When you're listening to this is Dragon Con, which is the big convention I go to with my dad every year. We go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We people watch. We walk around. It's the most I walk all year probably because it's spread across 4 hotels in downtown Atlanta. And it's always very fun and really wildly exhausting. But I'm excited because David Boreanaz is going to be there for the first time since I've been going, who is
Whoa.
Angel on Buffy and Angel. And I'm going to get him to sign my Buffy poster.
I'm gonna sign my butt.
And my butt.
I can't wait for you to go to one of these things where one of the actors from our movie is, because he does a lot of these cons,
I
and then you can be like,
know.
"It's me from FaceTime."
Oh my God, I won't even tell him. But I hope he comes because I met his friend at a convention. So I need him to come to something here so I can be like, you know, Iliza? Me too. We've both touched Chan Fu. And we've probably both touched Iliza.
Yeah, we got it in there
He's probably touched you more than I've touched you.
for sure. I know what this person's face tastes like when they're sweating, and it's great.
It's great. It's perfect. Okay, a top
great.
from the listeners.
One small step. Okay.
As Iliza is working on her movie, I have exciting news. My movie is available on Prime.
Ooh.
Saving for the Day took 13 years to finish. It's not a documentary. It's an independent narrative feature film, multi-genre, PG. I was production manager, solving all the problems. We had 30 speaking roles, around 300 extras, shot in Missoula, Montana with pretty much no money. Finally, all my friends and family can see the movie I've been working on for over a decade. Oh,
Over a
that's
decade?
so cool. Yeah, well, it sounds
An introvert is given a locked treasure chest worth millions, which forces him to go on a wacky series of multi-genre adventures to find the key. For what it's worth, I would strike the word wacky from this.
I like that you're
that's
giving
a weird
notes.
word. Oh, Lily Gladstone is in it.
I just think that the fact that it's now like you can send it to your friends is so cool. You know, like you can watch it, you can be like, look, it's a real movie that I made. Okay. Those are our cobs. Do you have any you want to talk about Estonia or wherever the heck
No.
you're going?
But if you live in any of these Eastern European countries where I'll be visiting, with tickets and dates at iliza.com/tour, send it in the Patreon. I don't always check my Instagram DMs, but let me know cool bars, because we have some nights off, cool coffee shops, any underground raves. I'm looking to get into some weird situations. Let us know.
Yeah. And join the
first.
Patreon.
Okay, and join the Patreon. Okay, bye. And don't say mean shit to Emily. Because we will fucking block you. She's not a punching bag. She's my baby.